DreAllDay.com.
What up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Getting into the motivation for this week. Question for this week's motivation is, what should I do? And that's not me asking you. That's the question that a lot of people ask. What should I do? You're talking about whatever situation you're in. Of course, a lot of you basketball players asking me, this is the circumstance I got. This is where I'm trying to go. What should I do? The answer to the what should I do question is this. I'm going to give you a simple formula. This is your motivation for the week. First of all, look at what you're trying to accomplish. So number one, you got to know what you're trying to accomplish. Just saying get better or I want to work on everything, that's not a clear goal. You got to have a clear goal. What exactly are you trying to do? Zero in as finely as possible on what it is your goal is. So that's number one. You need to sit and think about that. Turn your phone off, turn your TV off, turn your computer off, and figure out what it is you're trying to do. That's number one. So figure out, look at your goal. Number two is this. Look at the things that you've been doing. If they're getting you closer to your goal, do you see the things that you're doing getting you closer to where you want to go? That's the second question. If the answer is yes, then the things that you're doing, you need to keep doing them. That'll keep getting you closer to your goal. If the answer is no, the things you're doing are not getting you closer to your goal, then you need to change the things that you're doing. And most of the time, if you know exactly what you're trying to do, and you know what you've been doing, you can pretty much figure out what kind of changes you need to make. I mean, you might not know everything, but you're not completely 1,000% lost, like you know nothing whatsoever. You know, you got some idea. If you know what you're trying to do, you got some idea of what needs to be changed. Most of the time when people ask for advice, they already know what they need to do. They just need to hear somebody else tell them to do it. So you pretty much got an idea. If you know your goal and you know what you've been doing and you know it's not working, you know what to do next. Now the other thing with this is, even if the things you've been doing are getting you closer to your goal, you got to keep asking yourself that question. So it's not like you ask yourself now and then 10 years from now you have never asked yourself that question again. You have to continuously reevaluate what you've been doing and figure out, okay, things I was doing last week, the answer was yes. So let's see. It's been 3 months, it's been a week, it's been a year. Let me see. Are the things I'm doing now getting me closer to my goal? Do I need to make changes? Do I need to tweak this over here? Do I need to eliminate that over there? Do I need to add this in over here? That's how you figure out what you should do. And this applies to anything. This could apply to school. This could apply to, if you're trying to lift weights and get big muscles, this can apply to your basketball goals. But the number one thing in all three of those things, you got to know what it is you're trying to do. Because if you have no idea, you can't clearly state what your goal is, then there's no way me or anybody else can tell you what you should be doing, because we don't even know what the goal is. So your goal has to be as specific as you could possibly make it. You need to sit, like I said at the beginning, that's probably the most important thing of all that. You need to sit and figure out what is it that you're trying to do. If you don't know, you can't clearly state it, like in one or two sentences, clearly, like something that can be defined. It can't be something vague like, women sometimes say, I want my body to be tight, or, I want to be toned, or I want to get in shape. Like, that's not clear enough. Everybody says that. That don't make any sense. You got to have a clear goal. What do you want to look like? What measurements do you want to be? How do you want to feel? You got to be as specific as you possibly can be as to what the goal is, and then you can look at the actions, and then you can decide what you should do based on the results of your actions. That's your motivation for this week. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.